Hello everybody, today I will show you my first impression using the Cursor AI for programming. So to download the app, you just visit the cursor.com and just download it and install it. After you open the installer, it lets you to configure the keyboard key bindings. By default, it's just VS Code, and you can choose another language except English for the AI. So the next step, it can automatically scanning your VS Code settings for your established extensions. So as you can see, the UI layout is very similar to that of the VS Code. So it's just a copy of VS Code but in another IDE or editor. They provide two modes for you to either share the data or for the privacy mode without sharing the data. You can just create an account authorized by the GitHub account. So today the example I'm using is that I have a old Python program. It's an AI to running the 2048 game. I want to translate it into TypeScript because I want to host some personal website where people can just play it on the website. So I'm moving to the front end using TypeScript. Since I already have the Python code, it's a good chance for me to use Cursor to translate the code. After we log in to the project, it looks just like the Visual Studio Code, except on the top left, it has an instruction of the major things you can do using Cursor. So we already finished onboarding, but there are other features for you to edit the code. Here I just gradually copy paste my code from Python to the TypeScript project. For example, here I copy a very small abstract class of base AI to the TypeScript. Of course, there's an underline score because it's the Python code, it's not TypeScript. So here I select the 3 lines of Python code, and you can see on the right there are 2 options, the command L for chat and the command K for edit. So let's choose the chat. In the chat, I just tell the AI that I want to convert this code from Python to TypeScript. In the background, ChatGPT will just scan my code and give me some feedback based on the code base as well as the prompt. So you can see the chat session on the red tab. It generates the code and we can just copy paste that code. Furthermore, if I just copy more other Python code, just like a GitHub Copilot, it just give me some grayed out text. So I can just hit the tab to auto complete the code. Usually you just hit tab for several times and you can just finish the code. So the AI just knows that you are trying to translate the Python code into TypeScript, so it will just translate for you. If I leave a blank line, it also can generate some comments for me. For example, here it will add the comment that it was converted from this Python code. And I think that at least that does no harm. Another feature is that you can click on the arrow place with a red underscore and it will have a button AI fix in chat. That's another feature. So here I have a larger Python class called player AI. If I use a cursor, all the signatures will just be completed by hitting tab for several times, which is really nice. If you don't want to use chat every time, you can just edit it by telling the AI some command in natural language. Say here, in the first line, I want to import the class named grid from grid.ts. So after hitting the accept button, it will just generate the correct import command for me. You have the option to select yes or no to accept it or to reject it. So basically, as you can see, the AI is suitable for many repetitive things. So for example, if you have a command line tool and you want to use the Python's argparse to documenting each parameter, so those work is very tedious, and in that case, it's perfect for you to use the cursor or Copilot to autofill the stuff. At least it can save you a lot of time for the typings. And another feature I feel interesting is that you can just select a specific section or function that you want to change. Plus, you can give the AI a prompt to guide the AI how to change it. In that case, you still have a lot of control over how the AI will change the code. The function I feel like least appropriate is that you can click on the AI fix me button. I think it doesn't make sense in many cases because to fix a bug, you need to really understand what's going on. And there are usually like 4 or 5 ways of solving one bug, but only one will work. I don't think AI will select the correct one in many cases. And finally, if the simple fix doesn't work, you can always fall back to the chat session where you can just interactively chat with the AI. I had never tried Copilot before because it's a paid service, but at least I can try some Cursor because it has a free tier. Another fancy thing is that the Cursor is isolated from your other IDEs. So for me, if I'm really doing some very creative things and I don't want AI to just scanning me in the background, I will just use my VS Code instead. So that's all my impressions the first time using the Cursor. I think maybe in 5 years, most of the programmers will be using AI tools like that. So we will see what will happen in the next few years. And that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed this video, you can just hit subscribe or just hit a like button. I will see you in the next one.